And we'll get this party started. So excited to get going, excited to touch on all things follow-up so I can help you guys in that area. I guess I just want to know if you guys can chime in the chat. Who's doing follow-up at your gym right now? Is it you? Is it a coach? Is it a business partner? Is it a manager? If you guys can just drop that in the chat, I would be curious to know who is doing follow-up at your gym right now. All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna open up my slide deck and we're gonna get this presentation underway. So Aaron is doing a go high level. David's got the VA and the wife doing it. That's awesome. That's how we do it at our gym too. So that is all good ways of doing it. All right. Well, we are going to get this party started, guys. Let me go into presentation mode and we will get to the topic for today. All righty. Allie's got a message that she's doing the follow-up. So cool. All right. We've got all kinds of different ways of doing it, which is fine. And so I'm going to teach this just, because I know that this is a major pain point for a lot of gym owners. It was for me for a while. And so this is what I want to share with you guys today is the Fortune follow-up system, the art of getting a lead to buy now, because it is a skill set. And if you don't know me, I know a lot of people on this call, but just for those that might be watching the replay, how did I learn what I'm going to teach you guys? Well, it's just through straight up experience and reps. I don't think I'm smarter or better than anybody at this business. I got certified, feels like an old man in 2005. I opened my first gym in 2012. So, over 10 years of gym ownership, opened 6 locations in 6 years. And basically in that time, I had thousands of sales conversations, I had tens of thousands of leads I followed up with through the years. And when you just do something over and over again, you just start getting black belt skills and mastery at it, right? And so this is my first gym. Most people don't know this. The first gym I ever opened was called Kokomo Fitness. And it was because I saved half the money and then I asked my mom to give me the other half and invest. And she said, I'll only give you the money, 2 conditions. You have to go into business with your brother, which you see, back then is when I had hair and the both of us are on the flyer there. And then number 2, I get to have a say in the name. And so one of the worst decisions ever, because my mom doesn't love fitness, but she just loved that song Kokomo by the Beach Boys. And I was like so tapped out. I must have sent her 100 names. And when I sent her that, she said, that's the one. We just went with it. But we kind of beach themed out the whole gym. It was funny. We gave people a t-shirt. We said, you got laid at Kokomo Fitness. But eventually I started feeling it was a little too cartoony and we changed. And so, again, there's the screenshot of the day I announced it and did the grand opening post. September 1st, 2012 was the announcement of that gym opening. So been in the game a while, guys. That's all I'm trying to say. And so the brand of my gym now is Lead the Way Fitness. Basically we're a hybrid of boot camp and small group training. I put our pricing there just in case you guys are wondering. People ask me that question all the time. And, I even jumped in and did sales remotely. If you guys don't know, I live in Dallas, Texas. My gyms are in California. We moved here 3 years ago. I like to keep myself sharp. So I jumped in and helped the team with sales. And I closed 80% of my appointments on a $49 a week membership over the phone from another state. So I want to just break those beliefs that I have to be physically in the gym. I have to lower my prices to get more yeses. Those are all just beliefs holding you back. I know many owners that charge more than we do. In fact, I had one guy that is here in Dallas saying he's raising his rates from $300 a month to $400 a month for 2 sessions a week of small group, right? So just don't let those self-limiting beliefs hold you back. And so basically, I've taught dozens of gym owners how to do this exact system. I'm going to teach you guys the Fortune follow-up system. And also we use it at my follow-up company called Gym Reinforcement. So we've completed a 1.5 million sales calls. We have an average closing percentage of 73%, and we've collected $8 million total for gym owners since starting the company in 2020, which is really cool. We have over 50 sales reps on our team and 6 sales managers. So it's pretty safe to say the reps are there between myself, between the gyms that I run, between the gym owners I coach, and between the sales reps we lead. We have a lot of reps with lead nurture. So that's really the main thing I'm trying to get across to you guys. So before we dive into the topic, I do want to start with a story. And so it's about pools, right? And so it being summer, this is kind of a good timely subject. So essentially, the way that I wanted to kind of highlight the importance of sales is with a follow-up situation that I went through myself. So last year we made the decision we're going to bite the bullet, we're going to get a pool in our backyard. And so I started calling pool builders like crazy. I posted and said, anybody know good ones? And referrals were coming my way. I called 5 pool builders one day and nobody returned a call to me, even to this day. And so maybe they were a bit too busy. They didn't need my business, but that was just mind blowing. So it's not just in fitness. That's what I want to point out. 5 pool builders, none of them call me back. All right. This is a multi, high price job, like multi 6-figure job. Then I would email and I got a couple of people to reply, but they took 7 days to get back to me. And it was really only one that was going back and forth with me over email, but it was 7-day gaps between their reply. And then finally, I got to another pool builder who said, I can be there later today. Are you available? And I was like, wow, that's quick. Like, I'm here. I'm calling you at 8 a.m. and you're going to be at my house today at 3 p.m. That's pretty cool. Lo and behold, you could probably guess who got the job, right? So this is what happened. He came down and I had this little, sketch pad. If you guys need an idea for like a digital sketch pad, I use a Remarkable. I love these things, but I just kind of sketched out roughly what I was thinking for the backyard. And he shook my hand and said, we can make this vision a reality. And I told him, hey, I want a little outdoor living here. I want to get the spa there. This is how big the pool's going to be. And he said, let me call you tomorrow. So then what do you know? I get a phone call and he says, we would love to show you the vision that you had there on your little sketch pad in 3D. Can you come to my showroom in 2 days? And I'm thinking, showroom? What the heck? Is this guy going to draw a curtain and put on a song and dance? What do you mean a showroom? He has me take a seat with my wife. He gives us water bottles, granola bars, really schmoozing us up and giving us the goodies. And then he puts up on video a full 3D rendering of my dream backyard, right? He brought my vision to life. And so I sat there and just watched this thing kind of rotate. And you'll hear it in a sec, they even threw in like water effects because we have a little waterfall on the one side of the wall. And it was like, wow, like exactly, Jason. I was sold, like done. Where do I write a check? Let's go, right? And so I'm gonna get to how this applies to fitness in a sec, but I just want you guys to go through what I'm experiencing all in the follow-up process. All right. So he obviously sold me the dream, right? Where's the check gonna be signed? That was the dream. Then we had to go through the pain. It sucked having this thing built out in our backyard. We were under 5 months of construction, basically couldn't go into our backyard at all because it was just mud and muck and cement and just leftover materials. The city delayed it. The trenches, when they came to cut the trenches, as you see here on the left, the guy sliced through our fiber optics. We had no internet for weeks. And then the city at that time happened to pass a new rule where the anything built in a backyard had to be, I put 10, 12 feet, but it was actually 10 feet from the fence. And so originally we were going to put our pool pretty much up to the fence. And then now we had to bring it real close to our house, as you can see. Dogs came inside every day muddy, just like headaches, right? And so the end of the day, it was worth it because this is the end product. Like, we're very happy with how it came out. It's been a place we've been spending a lot of time as a family. We create memories. We were in it all last summer. We've been using it this summer. And so this was a video of my kids cannonballing into it for the first time. And guess what? He's the one that wanted to record that and then send it to me. He even asked them, can you guys be my little, models and jump in for me? So at this point, I forgot about all that pain. I'm in this peak state. Like, we're having an awesome time as a family. Life is good. And then he came and he upsold me. He said, by the way, have you thought about who's going to clean this thing, right? Every single week, every single month. Do you want to do it, Dustin? Or do you want to have us do it? And of course I said, okay, I trust you guys. You've been so good. So, through this whole process, I'm sold. You guys do it. So all that to say, you're going to see the fortune follow-up system that I just explained that I went through with him show up in the same thing I'm going to teach you guys. And essentially what it comes down to is doing the right things at the right time, the right way. All right. That's the magic formula. So you can spend time on the wrong things, which ends up completely being a waste of your time. You get no return for it. You can do it the wrong way where you're like, hey, I did what you said, but you changed it, you tweaked it, you try to do your own spin on it. Nope, you did it the wrong way. You didn't do it the right way. And then there's the right time. Like, should you be following up with leads at 11 p.m., right? Probably not the right time. So there are timing involved in our business. And so that was just a well choreographed, well rehearsed follow up system. And it landed him a near $200,000 job where all those other pool builders I called missed it because they simply missed the phone. Right. So my question to you is like, how many lives are you not changing because we're missing the phone, because we're missing the text, because leads are slipping through the cracks, people that desperately need your help? There is going to be that difficulty, all those 5 months of muck and problems and headaches. That's the clients, stalling out when they're not losing weight. That's the client running out of ideas and getting bored of eating the same breakfast. That's the client getting injured. That's the client going through a terrible life change while also trying to get healthy and fit. That's their muck and their hard times. But then it's worth it when they see that after photo and they achieve their dreams. They hit their after body. They're fit, they're strong, they're healthy, they're confident. That is their peak state, right? And then that's where you could obviously come in if you have a second tier and offer them in that peak state your next offering, right? Maybe it's a challenge, maybe it's a small group training, maybe it's something else. So that's all going to be part of the Fortune follow-up system, is doing the right things at the right time, the right way. All right, so let's dive into it, guys. First, we're going to talk about a system I call the 5x2. This is for your brand new leads, leads that are coming in from your ads, organic walk-ins, content, any type of leads that you are producing from any channels. We are going to follow something called the 5x2. So speed to lead is critical, just like you heard about with that pool builder. If he didn't get to me quick, I was on to the next pool builder. He would have lost the sale. In a perfect world, the client is being texted back or called back while the phone is still in their hand and they're looking at it. Because think about it, they had to type in their information on Facebook and press send. Could you imagine if they got a reply while they're still checking their feed? And that is the goal, right? We want speed to lead, 5 minutes or less, in a perfect world, instantaneously, so that they feel impressed by our level of customer service, right? So that is number one. Now, that's not the 5x2. That's just like par for the course. We got to get to people and we got to get to them quick because they're in a agitated state. And if we don't get a hold of them, they're on to the next boot camp. They're on to the next gym. They're on to the next personal trainer. So the 5x2 essentially goes like this. You're going to rotate through different forms of reach outs so that you're not just reaching out the same way. Okay. This is that right way kind of layer. Somebody will say, I've texted, and I text. And I said, okay, you're doing the right thing, but you're doing it the wrong way. You're not doing a rotation. And there's just different strokes for different folks. Some people rather talk on the phone. Some people rather email back and forth. Some are hardcore texters. If you only do one, I promise that's why leads are falling through the cracks, is you're not rotating your follow-up system, right? So that is what we want to do. So basically, you can automate this though. You can say text goes out immediately, email goes out, 3 hours later, a prompt gets sent to me to call this person, 2 hours after that. This can all be set up. I don't want to say this is like heavy manual work, but you got to put in that front end work to build the automation and make sure that there's like a nice rotation, right? So it's not that the leads are not responsive. That's a false belief that's holding you back. It's that your leads aren't responsive the way you are reaching out to them, right? So if you're only texting, you're not going to get the people who rather talk on the phone. You're not going to get the emailers. You got to rotate it, right? So, Aaron, I think I answered that question. First text goes out within 3 minutes. Should I reduce that? I want it to seem organic. Yeah, what I would do is I would have it go out maybe 2 minutes after, and then have another, like put a wait 1 minute, and then another text goes after that, right? Where you kind of, it feels like a follow-up message was sent. That's a good way to make it feel like it's, authentic. So the 5x2 is basically the first 5 days of them opting in. They get 2 reach outs a day, 2 reach outs on day 1, 2 reach outs on day 2, 2 reach outs on day 3. It occurs for 5 days, but you got to rotate different reach outs. So day 1 should probably be like text and call. So I might text immediately and then call 20 minutes later. Someone should get a notification to call them later, right? And then the next day it's an email and a call. Then the next day it's a text and an email, and you can rotate through them. But we want to make sure that everybody is getting aggressive follow-ups because that's what's needed to get them through your doors. So the number one thing people ask is, what should I text them? Well, the best way for a conversation to flow is for it to be questions, right? A question basically is asking you and prompts you to keep talking to me, but you never want to send a text that ends in a period, because that means I've just said a statement and I'm done talking and you're probably done talking too, right? So it could be, this is your initial text. Hey, we received your expression of interest. What's so awesome. What's your main fitness goal, right? It's basically saying, talk to me. What's your motivation to reach your fitness goal? I was curious, we're located on X and Y street. Do you live in this city? I like saying that because it screens out people who live far away, and I won't bother reaching out to these people. They're like, oh no, I live 2 towns over. Okay, great. I don't know how you got on my leads list, but you're not a good fit, right? Do you need help with workouts, nutrition, or both? And then near the end, if they're not responding to you, it's probably that you need to flip things into more of a value giving kind of mindset. So I usually put on the last one some sort of lead magnet. So I'm like, hey, do you want a copy of my free smoothie guide? Do you want a copy of my flabby arm firm up guide? I'll put something in there that will elicit them to reply, because they won't get it automatic. They have to reply. It's like, you have reply yes, and I'll send it your way. But all of these I'm baiting, just talk to me, right? I just need you to talk to me. Nothing worse than a cold lead that won't talk to me. I need to warm you up, right? So that is an example. And your emails, by the way, don't need to be long. It's just some people are like on their laptops all day at work, and they'll get on email. They can't check their phone maybe at work, so they can't text and call, right? So we want to rotate it. That's the 5x2. That's how we want to do it. All right. I saw another question come in. If I don't get a response within a couple hours, I asked, do I have the wrong number? Yep, that's a perfect follow-up one, because that's what a real human would ask. That's not an automation set up by a company. So I love that automation, Aaron. All right, so that's the first branch of the Fortune follow-up system. The second is something I call the database dynamite. All right, sounds big and scary, but essentially this is what I found. Most gym owners have spent tens of thousands of dollars building up a database, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 leads, and they just discard it to focus on the new leads coming in on their ads and the new flavor of the month, which is the newest leads this month. And this other database gets neglected. But I promise you guys, they have not solved their fitness problem. They are still in pain, right? We're so quick to discard last month's leads when it's humans. It's real people that need your help, and we just failed to get a hold of them. Maybe they're busy, it's the wrong time. We got to stay on top of them. So I can guarantee you this: if you have a lead list of over 1,000 leads, you are sitting on a gold mine, but you got no miners working on it. We need to change that. So this is how the system works. It's basically carving out just 10 or 15% of that database every single day and sending out a warm text message to get them to respond. This is great if you use something called Go High Level. It's a CRM we love. We use Fit Pro Tracker to manage our members internally and to do membership management and billing and all that. But we use Go High Level to do lead nurture externally to our leads. And inside of Go High Level or any texting platform you have, there's something called an automation or a workflow. But what I love about GHL is they have a drip. So I don't have to blast everybody at once. I can say send to 20 people an hour, send to 50 people an hour. It maxes at 100 an hour. Otherwise, you start getting a lot of blocks on your texting. So essentially what I would do is if I had 2,000 contacts, I would set up a drip over Monday through Friday, and I would say text 25 people an hour. I'm going to have my entire list hit in that entire week. And they're getting one text from me. That's it. One text a week. That's not enough to like piss somebody off. And sometimes it's an offer and an ask. Sometimes it's a lead magnet and a gift. Sometimes it's more of a softer question like, hey, how are things going with your fitness goals? But this is something we want to do to keep our database, right? You guys spent so much money on your database. We want to keep our database warm. So this is what I found to be an effective strategy, about 10 to 15% a day. So if you had 2,000 leads, you're going to text 200 of them a day. And so that means you're not going to hit all of them more than twice a month if you follow that strategy, right? You'd hit 200 a day over 10 days, Monday through Friday. You would hit your whole list in the first 2 weeks, and then you'd hit your whole list again in the second 2 weeks. That is a really effective strategy to keep that database warm and to give them opportunities to reach out to you, to talk to you, to reply. If they're not interested, they'll stay silent. They might reply stop. A lot of owners freak out about all the stops and unsubscribes. But guys, you want your list cleaned out because guess what? The bigger your list gets, the more expensive it is to text everybody and email them. The email companies charge you more, the texting companies charge you more. So I want a warm list. I'd rather have like a medium-sized warm list than a big cold list, right? So I'm not after 10,000 names and I get 20 replies when I send a text. I'd rather have 3,000 leads and I get more like 1,000 replies when I send out a text, right? So we don't want numbers for the sake of numbers. We want real people interested in our service. So this is something that they call crossing the chasm. It's more used in the SaaS world and software, but it applies to us as well. So there's only a small portion of people that jump on a new thing when it's first released, right? So these are the first adopters, they call them. At first there's the 2%, which are the innovators that like the thing is underground, only like a secret little subreddit know about it. Like they're jumping on it. They like to know things the minute it's invented. But then when it starts to go like a little mainstream, it's the early adopters, people that love progress. They love trying new things. They're going to try out this hot new social media, this hot new app, this hot new way of working out. If somebody came to town with some wacky kind of workout system, they're all over it. They love new and crazy and they want novelty. So if you're constantly creating new, that's good because you're going to get this about 15% of the market. But look at what crossing the chasm is. This is when your business really starts to get mature is you then start to go a little bit more mainstream. You got the early majority, and then you got people who take a long time to make decisions, it's the late majority. And then you got people that take a really long time. I'm talking years. They're the laggers that take a really long time to get on board with something, right? So this is like finally someone in your family gets a Facebook profile. It's like, oh my God, this thing's been around 15 years, 20 years. What took you so long? Right. And so these people, which is the majority, crave consistency. This small group craves novelty. So in fitness, we tend to say everyone wants new nutrition, new workout programs. But most people just want a consistent, predictable result, right? You want to go to Chipotle and they make it the same way in every state across the country. That's why big companies that can systemize things to be consistent, no matter where you are, have the highest revenue and the most repeatable business. And people who have to keep coming up with new spins are always in this struggle bus because it's just a small group of people, right? So reason I bring this up is we want to have a mixture of both in the way we reach out to our clients because they are, again, both subsets of our leads. So we want to have a mixture of novelty and consistency in the way we reach out. So it could be with novelty, hey, we have a brand new program, which, again, you should have something new you're doing to make it special. We're adding small group, traditionally we've been only doing boot camp. Now we have small group. Hey, we're running a Mother's Day sale. That's new. We're offering a new session time. So it is good to sprinkle in new things. We got new equipment. We're moved to a new space. We got, whatever, anything new is a reason to send out messaging to your leads. But then remember, there are people who want consistency. So it's good to brag. How many years have you been doing something? Because they say, okay, you've been around the block a while. You create systematic transformations that every week, every month, every year, they just see you posting before and afters. They're like, these guys are relentless, right? This is kind of what we do all year round kind of mindset helps you win the consistency people, which is a bigger part of the market. So I learned this from Ed Milet. He explained that there's 6 human needs. There's certainty, variety, significance, growth, connection, and contribution. Let me share with you how those 6 needs can link into a text or an email blast to your leads, right? So certainty is flexing how many years you've been in business. I'm certain you'll be here, you're not going anywhere because you won me over with, just basically time under tension. You've been here 5 years. Variety would be, we have something new. We're starting a new challenge. We're doing Little Black Dress. We're doing a mom strength program. Like basically new things are happening. We're now giving you ab finishers you can do at home. So this is something new. Like we're doing bingo cards. Anything new is a reason to message it to your leads. Significance. All right. People want to feel significant, important. They have high status. So why not flex that people can break the family cycle of obesity or unhealthy habits? If it's like, hey, if your family tends to be overweight and you want to break the family cycle, we're the place to come to, right? Make them feel important, make them have status for training with you. Maybe you can even flex. We're the best. We won the award for best gym in town. We're the premier personal training. That makes people feel significant among their peers, right? Then there's growth. People want to learn. So say, hey, at our gym, we actually teach you about nutrition. You're going to learn while you're here. You're not going to just work out. We're going to teach you proper form. We're going to teach you how to recover. We're going to teach you how to eat so you can keep it off forever, regardless if you're training with us. That scratches the growth itch. Connection. Hey, community. We have a bunch of like-minded folks. We're a positive vibes only type of gym. You're going to get your connection here at our gym. And then finally, contribution. And this is when you give back to your community. Like, hey, we're going to take 50% of the proceeds of this trial and we're going to give it to a local charity because we want to contribute, and people want to contribute to their local community, right? So these are the 6 human needs, and you guys can, essentially scratch all of them with your messaging. So that is the first two layers of the Fortune follow-up. So we're hitting our new leads, we're hitting our database, and we're making sure we're doing a mixture of reach out so that we can scratch all those human needs and get people from all different walks of life and needs to come in to our gym. Because what Ed Milet taught is we all have those 6 human needs. We all would probably rank them differently on a 1 to 10, right? Someone might be 10 on growth and a 2 on contribution and a 6 on connection, right? So it's like you want to get all of those mixed in, because whoever has a higher level of rating for different needs will respond to that type of messaging that you send out. All right, so now we got member engagement. So I've been talking a lot about externally. Now let's talk about how you can make business happen within your 4 walls with the people you already talk to every single day. All right, so we got a Fortune follow-up system, but now we're going into member engagement. So essentially, there's 2 ways you can measure your members' engagement. And I kind of joke that they rhyme. It's spending and attending, right? So spending and attending. So getting members to engage will make your retention bulletproof. If they're not spending and they're not attending, they should be a red flag to you, right? If a client is attending sessions, attending, social events, that means they're engaged. They want to be here. They're part of the community. It's the people who are like, man, they keep showing up on my MIA report. They don't come to any events. I would say that's a red flag. They're probably going to be canceling soon, right? And then the same with spending. Are they buying your gear? Are they buying your supplements? Maybe they're on membership, but they join all the member challenges. Probably your best clients are the ones who also spend the most. They come to all the events. They buy anything you put for sale. They're always repping your gear. They're engaged. And they're showing you that by attending and through spending. And your best clients, they do both. They attend often and they spend the most. It's like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. But what helps you is when you know that this is what causes member engagement, to then kind of like stimulate it by creating opportunities for more member engagement, right? So if they're not attending, they're going to cancel, and they're not spending, or they're just giving you the minimal commitment, which is like your flat monthly rate. They're giving you minimal commitment. We want to get maximum commitment from our clients, right? Because that means they're engaged. So these are 3 ways you can increase your revenue from your clients. There's only 3 ways, right? I can get more clients, which is great. I can get those clients to spend more. So that's buying retail supplements, member challenges, or I can get them to spend more often, right? And so I can increase the frequency in which they get their card out and they're spending with me. That's it. Those are the 3 levers you can pull. And so one of the things that you can add into your system, if you're not doing it already, is a member challenge. And a lot of gym owners feel weird about this because they're like, they're already paying the membership rate. Why am I trying to get more money out of them? And the answer is you're giving them more service, and that's okay. It's okay to charge more money for more service, and there's no issues. We work with hundreds of gym owners that have done this, and nobody's had any issues. So I recommend doing it about 3 to 4 times a year, once a quarter. And what you do is you offer them more nutrition coaching, more accountability. And if you have a tier 2, which I recommend everyone does, that's what they're getting. So it could be it's nutrition accountability. It could be they get small group. It could be they could get PT. Whatever you want to offer as your extra level of service, they're paying a little bit on top of their membership. So let's say it's between $10 to $20 a week, right? So it's $40 to $80 a month that they're going to drop to be in this member challenge. Not a big deal, guys. Like, again, we can freak out about this, but if you're working more, you deserve to be compensated more, right? So a way to kind of break this down is, let's say you had $150 as your membership rate and they're paying you for 12 months. Well, that client's lifetime value for a year is $1,800. All right, fair enough. But if you added on there that they join 4 member challenges, right? They do one a quarter, you're going to add, and let's say you charge $60 to be in a 6-week, a challenge. So it's $10 a week. That would add $250 onto their annual collection, which would mean it go from $1,800 a year to now having a lifetime value of $2,050, which you might be shrugging like, whoop-de-doo, okay, another $250, Dustin. But where this gets powerful and what the business we're in, especially if you're doing group, is when you multiply it over many members, right? So now if you had 200 clients that gave you an annual payment of $1,800, your business brought in $360,000 a year. But if you had 200 clients that paid you $2,050 a year, you immediately increased it to $410,000 annual revenue. So that's $50K more in your pocket. And all you had to do was a little bit more nutrition and accountability during these challenges. So again, I know I'm exaggerating here because I'm literally counting like all your members, like who has 100% sign up for a member challenge. Nobody, no one has 200 clients, but it's reasons to look at your pricing. Like, what is your membership pricing? Because hey, even if you raise your rates by $60 a year, you can put 50K more in your pocket at the end of the year. And it's not that it's about money. It's about figuring out what model you want to offer. What do I want to charge? What am I going to deliver on? I'm going to work hard. All gym owners do, but I find that a lot of them make the work harder because they put themselves under self-inflicted stress by choosing to offer their services for a lower price, right? So I think that's one of the biggest decisions every gym owner can really sit down and face is what am I going to charge? Because that will lead to years of pain or years of gain. And it all stemmed from one decision. It's crazy if you think about that, right? Like how one decision can impact us so much. So guys, again, hopefully this is like a good little thought exercise to decide, am I charging enough? And if I'm not, should I raise my rates? And if, maybe that's not the answer, maybe it's what can I upsell my members to so that I can create more revenue for my business and I don't have to keep chasing the more members game, right? I can get them to spend more or I get them to spend more often. And that's another way to grow revenue in your business. So again, I know the whole point of this was like, how do I follow up with them though, right? That's the theme. Well, I like to always say, hey, I know we don't want to follow up with our members and be pushy because we don't want to make them feel like put off by our sales process. But I just say pick a period where you are going to sell and go all out, blitz them, right? Hit them from every corner and then leave them the hell alone, right? So I call it a promo blitz. So you want to have posters in the gym, put it at the front door, put it on the bathroom. You want to post it in your Facebook members group. Hey guys, we're running, this promotion. We're doing a supplement sale. We're recruiting for this member challenge. Here's why you got to be a part of it. It's going to be awesome. I'll probably send a total of 3 texts to our members and 2 emails. And then I'll make sure all the coaches at every session are announcing it at their end of session announcement. And we usually do it for about a 2-week period, right? We pick a sales period of 2 weeks and we just go hard. And then we just turn on service mode. Now we're like, whoever did buy, they're going to be happy because we're about to blow their minds with the results, right? And so we leave them alone and then we repeat the next quarter. So I don't think that that's a cadence that you're going to burn your clients and piss them off, but it is going to be a lot of good for your business. And again, what the name of the game is member engagement. Why am I preaching it? You sell to them because if they're spending money, if I join the member challenge, I just told you I'm not going anywhere for the next 6 weeks because I committed to something. But non-committing clients, the people who are not buying things, they're not spending and they're not attending, I guarantee they're going to leave, right? Like, what if I buy protein from you? I'm not going anywhere for the next 30 days because I want to use this protein and I want to get the best benefits from it, right? If I buy gear, do you expect a cancellation from anybody who bought gear from you in the last couple of weeks? So that's why, again, these are little micro commitments to make people say, I'm a tribe member here. I wear the shirt with the logo. I buy supplements. I consume it to get the best results for my training. I join the member challenges. And that's why you want to encourage your team to sell because it makes members stay. It's not a bad thing. I say leads are lives and sales are saves because you're saving them from spending their money somewhere foolishly that will take their money happily and do half the job that they should, right? So guys, that is the member engagement branch. We're going to go to the 4th and final branch, and that is the comeback campaign. So this is for your past members. We talked about new leads, old leads, members, and now we're going to go to past members, okay? So comeback campaigns is basically where we're going to try to get our old clients to come back to us, right? Simple as that. I heard this phrase and I love it. The best place to find new business is old business, which was a fancy way of saying get your past customers to come spend money with you again. So you can show your past clients that you care about them, even when they're not paying you, right? Like people move on and that's okay. I don't have any ill will to a past GR customer who joins one of my webinars, who listens to my podcast, who comes to one of my live events. I wish them well. I hope they're doing great. And, I'm not going to treat them different, whether they're a GR customer or not. Same at my gyms. We check in with them. How you doing? Hey, that's weird. Why you check in with me? I'm not a client. Yeah, because we care about you. I didn't just turn off my heart because you turned off your bill, right? Like I still want to see you do well. So we tend to do these quarterly, but we alternate them opposite of member challenges because we don't want them to overlap. It's a lot for the team to think about all this going on at once and to do a good job with it. So example would be I might do a member challenge in January and then I do a comeback campaign in February, right? So they're kind of a little bit staggered and they're not overlapping because, again, I've done it in the past and it's overwhelmed the team. So one thing that we've done that's been an absolute game changer, I would encourage all of you guys to do it. After someone cancels, make a follow-up task to check in with them 30 days later. That really wins people over. And I can't tell you how many people reactivated their membership because it's still a fresh wound. It's 4 weeks of experiencing life without us, but it's not so distant that you're no longer like somebody that they have any feelings about, right? I think that's where it gets when they're 6, 12 months, like now I've just learned how to live my life without you. Like you're not even a thought, but 30 days, it's like, oh man, you guys are not that far, from being gone that I forgot all about you. I really want to get back in there. I stopped working out. I got to get back to it. Boom, let's get you back in, right? So that is a huge system. Again, we're here to talk about follow-up. Following up with your cancels is a system you want to have. Another one that works well, we do theme workouts once a quarter. We invite them to come in, no strings attached, doesn't cost you nothing, right? We're having a 90s workout. We're having a glow camp workout where we're blacking out the gym. It's a glow in the dark. We're going to have a Marvel superhero workout. Whatever the theme workout is, it's buns and guns, it's summer abs. Get them in and invite them, no strings attached, right? You already got their waiver, just tell them the session time, say we'll see you there. Obviously, after the workout, have a talk. How's everything going since you don't train with us anymore? How'd you like it today? Would you like to get going again? And boom, you can get people back on their membership. Hook them up with a special discount, kind of like a secret door that no one else sees. You could say, hey, I'm selling externally to the market here. They get 28 days for $100, but I want you to experience all the upgrades we made and how things are so much better. I'm gonna give you half off. You'll get 28 days for $50, but then you also got to put a deadline. But hey, it is good till this Friday. After that, it's not going to be that price anymore. What do you say? You want to come back, right? Easy one. And then the other one is a beta test. Like, let's say you do want to try something new. Maybe you want to add small group. Maybe you want to try a new diet system. You want to try coaching clients through intermittent fasting or counting their macros. Maybe you got some sort of crazy, science experiment you want to test. Well, you can tell the clients like, hey, I'll train you at a heavily discounted rate. I just ask for your feedback and I want your results at the end of this beta test. So then I can go and sell it to the market, right? And because you have that relationship that they're a past member, they'll trust you. Will a stranger trust you to treat them like a guinea pig? Probably not, but a past client would. If you're like, hey, I think I got a better way to help people build muscle. I'm going to try 45-minute workouts, small group, 1-on-4, 1-on-6. I thought of you. Would you do it? This is the price. I do have to charge, but it's heavily discounted. This is what the public will pay, right? You won't pay that. That's a great way to get people to come back. And a lot of times, I put DTM, that stands for direct to membership. You can skip the trial and then membership with a past member. You can just get their membership reactivated. They come to a theme workout. Hey, I loved it. You know what? Turn my membership back on. I'll see you guys Monday. Boom. EFT added on the board, right? If they get a 30-day check-in, you know what? I made a mistake. I shouldn't have canceled. Turn my membership back on. Boom. EFT on the board. So you don't have to always think it's a trial and then it's a membership. You can bypass that if it fits the situation, right? So best way to make this work, people ask, how can I make these comeback campaigns really effective? Well, the first filter we put things through is who does the reach out to this person? It really should be the person who has the best relationship with that client, right? So let's say you got a sales rep that works remote like we do, should they reach out to a past customer, even though they haven't talked to them, in 90 days? Maybe they sold them a trial, they became a member for 3 months, and then they left. So now it's been 3 months since they talked to this person. Should they reach out? Probably not. Like, it should be the coach or GM or owner that had a lot of engagements with this person. Maybe there was some really heartfelt reason why they had to leave, and then that person calls in and checks in on them, right? I know you had to leave because you're having surgery. I know you had to leave because you lost your job. How are everything's going, right? Because trust equals transactions. And I don't say that because it's all about the money. It's just people feel safe spending money with people they trust. And so who has the best relationship is a sign of trust. So if we're going to put in the effort on this comeback campaign, we should leverage the people who have the most trust to do the reach outs, because they're going to get the most replies. They're going to get on the most phone calls. They're going to make the most people commit to coming back. And it's just going to be the best use of our time, right? So that's filter one, is divide up the group of past members over the team, and who has the best trust and relationship, and then also who has the best salesmanship, right? If they suck at sales, they can have a ton of trust, but like completely crap the bed when it comes time to sealing the deal. So that is that. And then the second is, I recommend you call the clients on the phone, because people who talk, can basically get a lot more done on the phone than texting. It might be I text you and then you reply to me the next day, and then I reply, but you wait another day to get back to me. And it's just this long drawn out thing where it's just like, we can do it in a compressed period of time if we just get on the phone, and so I feel like people who get on the phones the most end up collecting the most cash, because they're not afraid to get out there and talk to people and to seal the deal and close deals. Where people who hide behind the computers, again, they can make plenty of money, but at the end of the day, you're just not going to do it in a condensed period of time as people who are not afraid to get on the phone. So I really say hit the phones with this. All right. And the third step is offer them a value-packed offer. So that means, you don't just give them one thing, you give them this, and you give them that, and you give them another thing, and you just really pack it out. So they're like, oh my God, I get all this. Because then it's a no-brainer, and it's easy for your team to sell if you take the time to really build a grand slam offer, right? So it might look like this. Your GM will set up the text campaign. Maybe they'll set up a 2 or 3 text blast to go out. But then they're going to call, again, when I said earlier, doing these at the right time, they're going to call between 5 and 7, maybe 5 and 8, because it's light out, this time of the year, that late. But basically, like, we want to call at the time when we're going to get the highest pickup rate. You don't get pickups at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. because people are busy. They're at work. We want to call in the evening time. We're going to get way more pickups. So they want to be texting, and then they want to be calling. And really just opening with a very easy line. Hey, it's Dustin here, Lead the Way Fitness. Just want to check in with you. How's everything going with your fitness? And just shut up, right? And what happens is they tend to go into confessional and say, oh my God, I've been eating like terrible. I've been going to the gym. I miss you, coach. Well, we miss you too. And I just wanted to call and say, hey, I was thinking about you and I want to give you 2 weeks free. Why don't you come back? Let's get you started Monday, right? And it's just simple as that, guys. Sometimes we make things so complicated in sales and marketing, but really it's just calling people and showing them that you give a crap about them, that you care, and you want to see them do well, right? That's it. That is a home run comeback campaign. What I would change at the end is, we miss you, insert different offer. We miss you. Why don't you come to our theme workout? Why don't you join our 6-week challenge? I'll give you half off. Why don't you, again, X, you put in the offer there, right? But the system is the same. All right, so that is the Fortune follow-up system, guys. I know I breezed through it pretty quick, but again, I want to be mindful of everyone's time and give you the information as quickly as possible. Debrief this with your team. Watch this replay. Talk about it with your team. Look at these 4 areas. What are we doing well? Where can we improve? And then how can we systemize it so it's happening every single year the way we need it to, right?